Good morning to all. Welcome back to today's class. And today mainly we are revising our half yearly examination topic. And we know that already I informed to you that there will be 4 chapters for your uh, half yearly examination, right? Yes. What are the block 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we can revise each and every blocks in today's class. Okay. So our first we can discuss about the fifth block, and our fifth block name is habitat and adaptation. And in that block we mainly discussed about the various habitats of the animals which lives in a different habitat, right? Yes. And what is habitat? The natural environment in which an animal lives is considered as habitat. And in that habitats, for example, various habitats we know that, and you have to remember the various animals, habitats of various animals, that you have to remember. And adaptation. What is adaptation? Adaptation is the animals have certain features that helps them to survive in their habitat, that is considered as adaptation. And this definition is important. You have to learn this definition. And first thing means the first subtopic that we discussed in this lesson, that is body covering of animals. The different animals have various different body coverings according to their habitats, and this body covering helps them to this body covering actually helps the animal to survive in their environment. Okay. So mainly that body covering, we know that the animals body coverings are mainly shells, scales and hair and fur, then spines. These are the various body covering, and you should learn the examples of each and every animals which has these kinds of body coverings. For example, if we consider about the sheep, their body covering is hair or fur. So like this example also you should remember. And then breathing organ of animals. We know that some animals, they are aquatic or they are living in water, and some others lives in land. Okay. And some animals, they can live both water and land. Okay. And according to the habitats, they are having their breathing organs. And if we consider about this breathing organ, mainly it helps for the organ which helps for breathing of the animals, that is considered as breathing organs. And different animals have different breathing organs. Mainly we discussed about in the case of fishes, they are having gills for breathing. Then insects, spiracle, with the help of their spiracles they breathe. And human beings and all, normally these human mammals, like human beings, like mammals, they are breathes with the help of their lungs. And amphibians, they can live both water and land. They can breathe. For example, we discussed about in the case of frogs. Frogs can breathe through lungs in land, and they are using their moist skin for their breathing in water. So like these things we discussed. Then the last topic we consider organs for movements. Normally if the animals, whether they are living in land or water, anyhow movement is required. Why? Because they have to search for the food, water, and finding the breeding places and all. They have to move for various needs. They have to move from one place to another. For that movements, they are having some organs in their body. That kinds of organs are considered as what? That kinds of organs we can consider as the forelimbs and hind limbs. We can consider as the organs for movement. And if the animals limbs, in the case of human beings, we have hind limbs for walking. Our legs are hind limbs and our arms are forelimbs. Okay. Then in the case of in birds are having wings, and these wings are modified forelimbs. And if the animals which lives in water, for example, if we consider about the some of the animals which lives in water, they are using their webbed feet to swim in water, and this webbed feet helps to push away more water. And some others, if we consider penguins and all, they are having the flippers for its movement. That means for swim in water. Okay, that flippers for penguins are special wings. Okay, so that's all about this fifth block. In the fifth block, you should remember the definitions and examples in various, and the name of the body coverings and examples. All those things you have to remember are organs for movement. Okay, then our sixth block name is protecting animal habitats. And if we know that, if we consider an habitat, it will provide the food, water, shelter, protection from the enemies, and at the same time these habitats offer, or it will give the place to it helps the animals to give birth for the young ones. All those things can, what all the things are animals require, all those things can provide by their habitat. So how can we protect or protecting the animals habitat? That is our sixth block, the continuation of our fifth block. And first we need to, and importance of habitats already we know that it give, but all those things already we discussed. And destruction of animal habitats, mainly this destruction because of the humans are destructing the animal habitats. For example, clearing the forest, and for means clearing the forest mainly for construction works, like making or building or the construction of buildings, malls and amusement parks and all. We are clearing the, or we are cutting down of trees and all. Okay, so these all the things. Okay, so all those things leads to the destruction of animal habitats. Destruction means that it will leads to the losing of their habitat. Okay, destruction of animal habitats, and that not only by human activities, but also natural threats also leads to the destruction of animal habitats. Okay, natural threats like earthquake, volcanic eruption, forest fire, these all may leads to the destruction of animal habitat. Then impacts of the destruction of animal habitat. We already learned that an habitats can provide all the, or a habitat can fulfill the needs of an animal. Okay, so what are the impacts for the destruction of animals? These animals came to the cities and all, and some of the animals they are died because of the unavailability of food and water. They may die. So all those things may happens. Okay, so they becomes extinct or endangered animals, and that examples also we discussed, the examples of endangered Indian leopards and all we already discussed. All those kinds of extinction of animals, or if we consider extinct, if the animal becomes extinct or endangered, it is mainly due to their destruction of the impacts of the destruction of habitat. Okay. Then how can we protect the habitat of the, ways to protect the animal habitats? We can protect the animal habitats. Normally we should not cut the trees, and we have to take care of the natural resources and all. And at the same time our government also gives some kinds of like national parks, wildlife sanctuaries to protect these kinds of endangered or extinct animals. Okay, so that ways we already discussed. So we should protect the animals and we should not cut the trees. Nowadays the rules also favorable for the animals' lives. Okay, so these that's all about our sixth block. Okay, and the seventh block, that is our joints in our body. Okay, we already learned that the importance of joints, because it helps the movement of our body, and the meeting place of bones is considered as joint. All those things already we learned. And what is the need of joint? Need of joint is, and in this block first lesson we learned that need of joint. Joint is mainly help us for our movement, bending of our body, and it makes our body more flexible. Okay, and we know that in our body it's made with a number of bones are there, but there isn't, because of these bones and all, we can do various works, and our body becomes more flexible. It is mainly because of the presence of joints. Then types of joints are mainly divided into two types, that are movable joints and immovable joints, right? Yes, and these immovable joints are the joints which is not allows the bones to move, and the movable joints allows the, or it helps for the movement. Okay, normally the immovable joints we considered as the bones, normally the skull. Okay, and in types of joints, already we learned that immovable joints, the joints in the skull, we can consider it as the example, and ribs cage. Okay, these are mainly immovable joints, or most of the other parts it will be movable joints. And next one, types of movable joints. These movable joints we are mainly divided in four types: pivot joints, ball and socket joint, gliding joint, and hinge joint. Okay, what is the speciality of pivot joints? Means it moves, or it allows the movement. It can rotate or twist from a fixed point. Ball and socket joint, it allows the movement of the bones in most of the direction. For example, the bones is present in shoulder, hip. These all are the example of ball and socket joint. Hinge joint, it allows the movement in only one direction. For example, the bones in the elbow and fingers and all, we can consider it as hinge joint. Gliding joint, it is slide over other. For example, we can consider it as ankles. Our ankles and wrist are the example of gliding joint. Then next one, how can we take care of our joints? Okay, and in that session we already discussed about the mainly the disorders happening in our joints. That are, first one we discussed what sprain, and why this sprain occurs there. We extend or twisting or bending of bending, either by twisting or bending leads to this sprain. Arthritis are mainly the joints swell ups and makes difficult to move. And swelling also occurs, joints used too much. If the joint we are using if we are using its joints too much, that means more over and over or overuse may leads to the swelling of the joints. Then stiffness means that the joint is not used for a long time, it may lead to stiffness. And how can we take care of our joints? We can take care of our joints mainly regular exercise, balanced diet, and maintain a proper body weight, and we should not overuse the joint. In this way we can take care of our joint. And our last block, our nervous system. Okay, and our nervous system, it consists of our brain, spinal cord, and nerves. This together it is termed as nervous system. Okay, our brain, spinal cord, and nerves together it is considered as nervous system. In this block, first lesson we will discussed about parts of the brain. Mainly our brain is actually the master of our body, and it controls all the movement, control and coordinates our body. And this brain is divided into three parts, that are cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem. The largest and topmost part of the brain is considered as cerebrum, and it is considered as the center of intelligence, and it helps for thinking, and at the same time sensation of sight and sight, touch, all those sensations we can easily feel with the help of our cerebrum. And cerebellum, it is the second largest part of our brain, and it is just placed just below the cerebrum. And what's the function of the cerebellum? The cerebellum helps to movement of muscles, and it give balance to our body. Then third one is brainstem, and it is the smallest part, and it connects the brain to the spinal cord, and it mainly controls the involuntary activities like breathing, heartbeats, like that things it mainly controls, and digestion of food also. Then next one, what is nerve? Okay, now we can say that a nerve is made with nerve cells or neurons, and these are or nerve cells or neurons are elongated shape because it has to carries the information to a long distance, and nerves carry mainly messages between the brain and other parts of the body, and these nerves are mainly divided into three types: sensory nerves, motor nerves and mixed nerves. Sensory nerves, it carries messages from the sense organs to brain. Motor nerves, it carries the messages from the brain to other parts of our body, and mixed nerves are the part or is the type of nerve in which it can control the or it can do both the sensory and motor nerves functions. Then spinal cord. What is spinal cord? It is a rope-like structure, part of nervous system, and it connects the brain to other parts of our body. That is the function of our spinal cord. Then what's the function of nervous system? And this nervous system actually it helps to control and coordinate the activities of the body. Okay, control and coordinate the activities of the body, and these nerves are helps to do this coordination of our body. The next one is reflex action. Reflex action are the sudden action or means it happens, or mainly we can say that some action happens very fast and nearly without thinking is considered as without thinking. Sometimes we respond, so that is considered as what? Reflex action. For example, blinking of eyes and blinking of eyes, withdrawing the hand when we touch an hot object, and watering the mouth when we are seeing a tasty or delicious food. All those things we can consider as reflex action and these steps. Okay, so already I informed you that that's all about our 4 blocks, and already I informed to you like our questions like MCQ, multiple choice questions will become. So what you have to do, you should learn each and every part of, or you have to read each and every sentence in this 4 block. Only 4 blocks are there for our test, so you can study well. Means some other cases it is not burden for you. Only 4 blocks only you need to study. So for when you are studying time, you have to learn the definitions and examples and all those things in each and every type. If we consider the joints and the examples of hinge joints, like this, each and every examples and definition also you should learn. Okay, so like that you have to consider. And our questions and its pattern is like multiple choice questions only. There will be 30 marks question, means 30 questions will be there. Each of the correct answers carries 1 marks. Okay, so you have to study well, and all the very best for your science exam. Okay, thank you.